Good afternoon from Epcot. It is our third Food and Wine. We've got one more to come because there's so much to try here. Even on our budget, we've got to come more than 3 times. It's a gray day, it's chilly, the wind is blowing. It's our first really chilly day here in Florida, so you're going to see a lot of coats and jackets in the crowds behind us.
And on us. I've got this fleece on, and I've got my vest on, and I'm trying to stay warm.
It's not that cold, but we aren't used to it yet either. So we have just a few stops to do today, try and get them done fairly quickly. It's not supposed to rain, maybe. But there's some talk that it may hit us, so we'd like to get done before that. Today's first stop is actually for 2 different booths. Lobster Landing for some lovely lobster chowder, and across the street from that is Flavors from Fire with a s'mores whoopie pylon. Yeah, they're all sports related over there. The chowder is a lobster chowder with potatoes, corn, and bacon. It does come with some oyster crackers, and it looks really good, but the lines today are crazy long. The lobster chowder is $6.75. It really looks delicious. Oh, rich lobster really comes through. That's delicious. The line is so long that even trying to get out from the crowd took a minute, and it's cooler today, so it's already cooling down, but it is truly, truly delicious. It probably costs at least that much in a regular restaurant, and it's a pretty decent servings for $6.75, so I am very, very happy with that.
Lobster chowder, this sounds really good, and it is cooler today, so a little warm chowder could be really, really good. I see a little chunk of corn in here, some potato, what looks like it might be a tiny piece of lobster. I'm really ready to try this. That's good. The vegetables are still a little crunchy, which is great. You can taste the base seasoning in it. And the lobster is delicious. This is really good. I wish it was just a little bit warmer, but it's still delicious. Would I get this again? Yeah, I really would. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give this a solid 7.5. I really do like it.
And now for Flavors from Fire. We did have their corned beef earlier. It was delicious. Now it's dessert time. A s'mores whoopie pylon with smoked chocolate cake, graham cracker, marshmallow, chocolate ganache, and candied bacon for $4. It looks really good. The graham cracker is soft, so they probably just let it sit for a while, but that makes it easier to eat with a fork. You can see the chocolate ganache in there. I don't see any bacon yet. I'm not tasting any bacon. I was a little concerned about the smoked chocolate cake, but it's just a light flavor in the background. I'm still not seeing any bacon either, but I don't think I really care. This is delicious. It's certainly not the best chocolate treat. That would be the chocolate bread pudding from Mexico, closely followed by the chocolate pudding cake from Ireland. But this is pretty good. I could eat this again. $4, really not a bad price for it. You get a pretty decent amount for that. I wouldn't get it next week, but if it keeps coming back every year, I might get it again. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Smoked chocolate cake. I wonder how they keep it from burning in the smoker.
I think they probably just kind of wave it through the smoke a few times.
That's probably it. Okay, I've got some graham cracker, some chocolate cake. I don't see any bacon at all. Very chocolatey, quite nice, good texture, not amazing. It tastes like chocolate cake, which is fine. I like chocolate cake. With all the description, you'd expect something more. I don't really taste the smoke. Would I get this again? No, I'd probably pass on it. There's so many other good things to eat. It is really crowded here at Epcot today. And once you get your food, there's no place to go with a table to eat it. However, what most people don't know is that if you go around to the back of Morocco to the former restaurant Marrakesh, they're going to let you in. You can sit down at a table with a chair and enjoy what you got at one of the booths. And the fun thing is that almost nobody seems to know about it. I'm in here and it's almost totally empty.
Our second stop and final stop is inside Restaurant Marrakesh. Isn't it wonderful that we can come in here and sit down and not have to fight the crowds trying to get tables outside? Nice thing here is we wanted to go to Tangerine Cafe, Flavors of the Medina, and get a few things, but we also had some things we wanted to try at Greece. Well, the Greece Marketplace booth is just across the plaza, basically. So here we are with fried falafel pita with lettuce, tomato, onion, cucumber, and tahini for $5.25, pistachio cake with cinnamon pastry cream and candied walnuts for $4.75, and a Three Daughters Brewing, that's the one from St. Petersburg, Florida, fig hard cider for $5. And then in Greece, we were going to get spanakopita. They were out. It's not horrible since you can get spanakopita other places, but we were wanting to try theirs. Maybe we can work it in next time. We did get the wine flight. It is a white, rosé, and red. I probably shouldn't try to tell you what they are. I might have to put them in the comments because my Greek's not very good. I can try. I'll do my best with the Greek here. It's a Mylonos Assyrtiko white, Tico white, a Skouras Zoe rosé, and a Kir-Yiannia Naoussa Xinomavro dry red. You get a flight of little bitty tastes for $6.50, or you can get a 6-ounce pour for $6 each. I went with the flight because I don't get to try Greek wine very often. First, the falafel. Now, unfortunately, I do not like onion or cucumber. A little cucumber is okay. The falafel comes with basically a little salad, and it's all mixed together with a very small diced onion. So I've had to kind of scoot it all down to the end so I can have a bite of just the falafel with the pita. I might end up pulling the falafel out and eating it by itself, but I do like pita too. This is a really thin one. That's a really good falafel. It's very light and almost pillowy in the middle, sort of like a hush puppy or a fritter. I usually, when I've had them in the past, they've been very dense. This is delicious. I wish instead of the tahini, they'd had maybe a little tzatziki, or even just something with a yogurt base would have been delicious here. This is still very, very good. I haven't had falafel in a long time, and I'm really, really enjoying this.
I like onions and I like cucumbers. I also like tahini. Elizabeth likes tahini too, but she thought something else would be a little bit better on this. I'm going to give my own personal opinion. The falafel is really very good, and I think the onion and the cucumber go very well with it. I would like even more tahini sauce on it. I really like this. Would I get it again? Yeah, I sure would. This is delicious.
Well, while I still have some falafel, I'm going to try some of this fig hard cider. Oh, that's very good. Not too sweet. I think maybe I now have an idea what fig tastes like. I really do have to get some fresh figs somewhere. This is very nice, and I think it's going to go with the falafel very well. I would definitely look for this again, and since Three Daughters Brewing is mostly local, they're just a couple hours away from Orlando, I might be able to find this out in the store somewhere.
One of the last times we were here at the Food and Wine Festival, we tried a fig cocktail with fig vodka. It didn't taste like there was any vodka or fig or anything in it. It just tasted like cranberries. So I'm interested to find out what this fig cider tastes like. Tart, delicious. I think I can taste some of the sweetness from the fig in the background, but it's not really sweet. This is really quite good, and I like it a lot.
Now for the pistachio cake. We noticed the tile on top looks really familiar. I kind of think that's exactly the same one they had in the Flower and Garden show, but it's beautiful. Now it said it's pistachio cake with cinnamon cream and candied walnuts. It looks like the candied walnuts are in the cinnamon cream. So cake first. The cake is very light, almost a sponge cake, but maybe not quite. It's very close. Very lightly flavored with pistachio. The cinnamon cream with the candied walnut looks really good. And they really do have the candied walnuts all through it. So they were not skimpy on the candied walnuts. You get a hit from the cinnamon first, of course, very forward. First you just get crunch from the walnuts, but slowly it kind of blends into the back. So it's not just cinnamon, just all the time. So here we go. Got a little of the buttercream that's holding the tile on. Really, really nice. Pistachio comes out more when you have all of it together. Of course, there's more cake. It's a beautiful blend of pistachio and cinnamon. Now with all of that, you still mostly just get the cinnamon and the crunch from the walnuts, but it's a lovely crunch to take over from the soft cake and the creaminess of the cinnamon cream. This is a wonderful cake, and I would absolutely buy it again.
Well, the cake is green, pistachio colored. I wonder if that's because there's pistachios in it or just some green food coloring, but it doesn't matter, it's very pretty. As Elizabeth said, the tile is very familiar. I've got some cake here, some of the walnut center. I'm ready to go on this. What a wonderful balance of flavors. The walnuts are nice, you can taste them. The cinnamon is not overpowering. Everything blends well, perfectly together. This is a delightful treat, and I'm glad we got it, and I would definitely get it again.
Last but not least, the Greek wine flight. I am not going to attempt the names again, but I will print them so that you can see them. The white first. It smells a lot like a Riesling. Very crisp. A little drier than most Rieslings. Actually, it's quite dry. I like it a lot. I like it dry. I really wish they'd had Retsina because I like Retsina, but I can see where maybe they wouldn't because it's not always a very popular flavor. It's particularly good with various Greek foods, though. The really cheesy ones. It's excellent with tart masala, by the way. The caviar dip, yeah, that with Retsina, wow. Okay, rosé. Similar nose. A little fruitier, but not sweet, which is nice. So far, those both win. Now the red. Red definitely has a richer nose. Oh, it's almost a Barolo. Very dry. That would probably be fantastic with tara masalata. Possibly a nice gyro. Very acidic. I think of all these, I might actually like the rosé the best. The white is nice, but a little bit shallow, a little flat. And then the red is so tannin heavy that that's really the front note, whereas the rosé has enough fruit but still dry. These are all very, very nice, and I'm not usually a rosé fan because they're usually pretty sweet. This is not. This is a really, really pleasant wine, and I could probably drink this on its own more easily, whereas the other two would be better with food, I think. But I'm very, very happy I've tried these.
I'm not very experienced with Greek wines, but I'm willing to give them tries. I want to start with the white. Like Elizabeth said, it smells a little bit like a Riesling. And it tastes a little bit like a Riesling. More like a Moselle would be over a Rhine. It's just a little bit drier, but it's still fairly sweet. It's really quite good. I find it refreshing. I try the rosé. I have never been a big rosé fan. Elizabeth loved this. She's usually right, so we'll see. Actually, that's really quite good. It's not overly sweet. It's still a little bit dry, which I like. That's actually quite good. On to the red. I usually like reds. Not much of a nose, really. Very dry. Needs a steak. Some sort of strong meat product to go with it.
See that spiced gyro.
A spiced gyro would be delightful. It's good. I like it, but kind of wish I had a big piece of prime rib to go with it. Which one do I like the best? It has to be the rosé, and I'm terribly surprised. So, I'm glad I tried this flight. Would I get it again? I'm not sure, but I'm glad we tried it.
Another pretty good day here at Food and Wine. It's lovely to be back here in Morocco and sit here inside Restaurant Marrakesh.
It really is, and by the way, it is really gorgeous in here.
We've been in here once before for dinner. It's a long time ago and it wasn't a great experience, but the restaurant is gorgeous. I just love Morocco anyway. This whole pavilion has so many fun details.
It really does. Now, I'd like to say that the smoked chocolate cake that we had earlier kind of grew on me. I thought it was a lot better than I probably let on. But, so would I get that again? I might.
The chocolate cake was nice and chocolatey, fairly light. The ganache was wonderful. The marshmallow, I think they must have used a marshmallow cream because you could actually cut through it with a fork. And if it had just been like a baked marshmallow, it wouldn't have done
No, you would have gotten that resistance, rubbery kind of thing going on.
This was delicious. However, it did say it had candied bacon on it.
It did say that.
I had one tiny, tiny piece. I only know it was there because it was chewy when I ate my very last bite of cake. And there was nothing else in there that was chewy. It would have been lovely if they had more of that. And maybe a crisp graham cracker if they put it all together later so you had some texture. It would have been harder to use the fork, but it would have given it texture. As it was all soft. Not horrible for a cake, but it might have been kind of interesting to have a little extra crunch or chewiness from the bacon or something besides just the soft cake. Still delightful though, I really enjoyed it.
But other than that, almost all of our treats were big winners.
And even that was a winner. It just had a few little things that they could have done a little better. The pistachio cake was wonderful.
The lobster chowder was delicious.
Really good. The alcohols were also good this time.
Yeah, they were.
We got our money's worth. The fig cider was fantastic. And now I have to go talk to my guy over at ABC Liquor and see if they get it in anytime.
But remember, when you buy alcohol at Disney, little bitty glasses.
Well, I could have gotten more. I could have gotten a 12 ounce of the cider, but it would have cost twice as much.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments. We love comments.
Please do. And also come and visit us on social media. If you're over on Facebook, so are we, Our Life on the Go. And Instagram is Our Life Go, posting reels and photos several times a week.
Yes, indeed. And with that said, I'm Art.
I'm Elizabeth.
And this is
Our Life on the Go.